We all know Agile training has been necessary and has helped a lot of organizations. But let's face it, it's also left some gaps. Agile training sometimes leads us to think and talk too much about our favorite practices rather than the mindset and outcomes that make enterprises more agile. There's too much emphasis on accredited knowledge and certification. Those are the starting points, not ends unto themselves. Finally, Agile training makes us wake up to the ways organizations should work. The problem is, we work in enterprises that are evolving. If we're implementing Agile as conceived in a textbook, chances are we'll eventually run into issues we can't resolve. So how do we take Agile training to the next level? Well, if you've already arrived at a basic understanding of your role in the Agile enterprise, the next question to ask is, what if I run into problems? Problems bigger than my role? So the first step is to move agility problems from the periphery to front and center of our training activities. Next, if we're gaining experience in the trenches, chances are we need support from others in the same role, facing similar problems, but who may bring a different thought process to the work. This is good for non-beginners, to use the next round of training to look at Agile problems from multiple angles and strengthen learning relationships among their peers. Finally, so many times in the real world, the optimal or textbook solution is simply not available. What can we do to practice finding the best solution from among the ones that are, and make progress over time? This inevitably leads to a group discussion of what actions are most valuable for your role and why. There's an answer that meets all these challenges, and it's scenario-based training. Scenario-based training is built around a series of what-if exercises designed to help a group of committed pros learn together to thrive in environments that may impose serious constraints. Along the way, there will be opportunities to stop and reflect, share real-life experiences, provide feedback, and receive guidance from your peers. So what would a scenario-based training exercise actually look like? Here are a few examples. One simple approach is to present learners with an Agile problem affecting their role and ask that they design an experiment to help determine the best way of addressing it. Another scenario, called the nudge, would involve indirectly influencing broader Agile outcomes by means of the narrower practices over which the role or the team has more direct control. A third is called dose of data. In this scenario, learners are presented with a chart or graph and describe for one another what they see, what it implies, and what actions should be taken. Scenario-based training should include 10 to 12 case discussions just like these, each unique, challenging, and interesting in its own right, as well as ample time to assimilate what's been learned. So what are learners accomplishing? Instead of rehashing the basics, participants in scenario-based training are repeatedly trying out solutions to some of the most challenging Agile management situations today, and doing so in a safe, facilitated environment with the aid of their talented peers. If you've got a group of Agile pros who want to help each other go deeper and farther into the problem solving that their role requires, scenario-based training will help them accomplish this. I hope you'll decide to take a closer look at how Agile professionals at your organization can benefit from scenario-based training.